How do you start intermittent fasting? I've lost over 80 pounds using intermittent fasting, and I've made it very, very easy on myself, and I think it's incredibly simple. In this video, I want to show you how simple and easy it is to get started with intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is very simple. All intermittent fasting is you're not eating for a specific time during the day. Your day is split up into your fasting window and your eating window. And I've got videos that are more in-depth than this, but basically your eating window, I just eat whatever I want during that time. I never restrict calories or portions or do any kind of special diet during that eating window time. And in the fasting window is just a period of time that you just don't eat. And I even have 3 cups of coffee with cream during that fasting window time. And also a thing that you should know is that when people are talking about their fasting window and eating window, it's generally written like this that you'll see on the screen. Basically, you put your fasting window hours first and then your eating hours after a colon. So for example, a 16-8 would mean that you are fasting for 16 hours and you are eating for an 8-hour period. So to get started with intermittent fasting, the first thing you need to do, step 1, is pick your window. I would recommend make it as easy as possible on yourself. First of all, go with a very short fasting window. You may not get the best results here, but this is all about just learning how to fast. Fasting really is a skill that you get better at with practice over time. Don't be in a rush. And when you're picking your fasting window, also look at your life and figure out what is the best time to simply not eat. Like, what is going to be the easiest time for you not to eat? Some people find that, pushing breakfast later is very, very easy. And conversely, some people prefer to eat their last meal earlier in the day. Just look at your life and figure out what works for you. When are you the busiest? Usually that's the easiest time to simply not eat. Don't get bogged down in the details of which is more optimal, how are you going to lose more weight if you eat earlier or eat later. I've found it really doesn't make a difference. And one big tip I have here is keep your fasting window at the same time every day. Don't be recalculating it every day. So for example, if you're at a 16-8, that means that you're fasting for 16 hours and that you're eating for 8. So instead of trying to recalculate that 16-hour fast based on your last meal that day, just keep your window the same. So for example, just say, I eat every day between the hours of 10 and 6 and not any other times. It just helps simplify your life. Step 2 is to just simply be consistent over time and be patient. And that is really difficult, I know. You can get into a hurry, and I understand that very well. But I can look back and tell you that when I tried to make it harder or I tried to overcomplicate it, that's when I had the worst results. When I just made it simple and easy and I was very consistent, that's when I had the best results. I lost about 1 pound a week on average when I lost the bulk of my weight. And by the time I got down to a normal BMI, I've been losing at like a third of a pound a week. So it really is not super fast progress. It's just steady progress over time. And again, it all goes back to consistency. Step 3 is lengthen your fasting window if necessary or desired. Now, what I found was, as I went through the process of learning how to fast, I enjoyed longer fasting windows. I liked pushing my eating out further and further because I found I just had more free time. I didn't have to think about food all the time, and it was just kind of something off of my mind that I didn't have to deal with anymore. And, I reached the point where I got to OMAD, 1 meal a day, and I really preferred that because then I wasn't even having to think about windows at all. I just eat once a day. And it really just simplified my life. That's why I like it so much. If you make this harder on yourself by making the fasting window, really aggressive and really long, and if you're not doing well with that and you're not being consistent, the thing is you're probably not going to have very consistent results, which will then, lead to this vicious cycle of you're trying to make it harder so you can have faster results, but then you're not being consistent. So then that's really the reason you're not having results, is because you're not being consistent. So focus on consistency and then work on lengthening it if necessary. And if you lengthen out your window, but then you find you're not being consistent, go back and work on consistency. Make your eating window longer and really focus on consistency over time, and then lengthen again. Don't be too aggressive with it. Make it really easy on yourself. I'm telling you, that was the key to my success, was making it easy on myself and focusing on long-term consistency. And again, make it easy on yourself. Do not overcomplicate this. Don't stress out about things. Try to make it easy, figure out your plan, and then just work on consistency. That's how you get started with intermittent fasting. It really is as easy as it sounds. The tendency we have is just to overcomplicate it. So I hope that helps you get started. And of course, I have lots of different videos that take you through all the different, aspects of it. Because I know a lot of people have questions past this, but I hope that this helped you. And if you have any tips for any beginners, please leave it in the comments below. Things that helped you along your way. Okay, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below.